So, welcome everyone. So, how did we start? How did the journey all begin? So, it started back in 2022, where, I'd actually moved to Wellingborough in 2020, and Jackie was in Flitwick before that, just before, wasn't it? And I think in conversation, we realised that there wasn't many places to buy Caribbean food. So that's how the idea came about. We were having a conversation and Jackie came up with this idea of introducing something in the Flitwick area. I said, well, in Wellingborough, we actually have a world food aisle in the Tesco's. So, but coming from London, where I was used to having, you could get your food, your seasonings and everything. So it was readily available. So we decided, Jackie and I, that we would go to Flitwick Market and have a stall. And so we decided to sell Caribbean food, seasonings at the Flitwick Market. And so what we found was that people would come up and say, oh, do you have this, or is it gluten-free, or is it salt-free? And they would come and look at the ingredients and ask a lot of questions. So they weren't really familiar with the Caribbean seasonings in that area. So after a while, it was a light bulb moment actually, and we decided that, this is really interesting. A lot of people are asking for these seasonings. They're asking, where can we get it? How can we season our food? How do you season your foods? And how much portions, what's the quantities that you use? And it was really hard to explain that because,
it was hard.
Being brought up in a Caribbean household, it's hard to explain how much all-purpose do you put in, how much paprika do you put in, how much garlic do you put in, and you can't really say to me, just shake it in. So that was our light bulb moment, really, where we decided to create something that was measured. A one-pot seasoning that had, you had the paprika in it, you had the garlic in it, you had the pepper, and all the things that you would normally season your meat and vegetarian options with, and your chicken. And we created that one-pot seasoning, J&J Caribbean Seasoning.
So, yeah, sure. So the one pot, which you can see on the back there on the display table, is our first product. Now, the light bulb moment was triggered by one of the customers who came to our stall and asked, how do you do it? As June said, what's the portion? What's the proportion that you use? And we couldn't tell them. But what they wanted was not to have many packs of seasonings in their cupboards. Now think about your kitchen cupboards.
Yeah.
A mess, right? A mess, and also containing lots of things that you don't use all of, and it gets thrown away because it becomes hard in the packets and it has to be thrown out. So you're wasting as well. Okay? So this lady had been to the Caribbean on holiday, and in the hotel where she stayed, they had a cookery demonstration, and she was a white British lady, she was taught how to cook ackee and saltfish by the chef there. And so she came back here wanting to create that taste, create that flavor. She didn't know how to. So she said, oh, I'd love something that I could just open and plop it in and jiggle it around and put it in the oven or put it on the cooker and let it be cooked, So that's where it came from. We had a lot of good experience in the market. We met some good people who pointed us in the right direction as well, because we're all new to this. We'd never done the markets before, but they embraced us and taught us how to live within a market culture. We do this on Fridays, by the way, and that was the early beginnings of J&J Seasoning,
that was
right?
our beginnings. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are we now? How do we get to where we are now? Can you explain?
So how did we get to where we are now? Well, so from the market, we then decided that we were going to, as we said, to create this one pot seasoning, and to get it to what it is there on that table, it took a lot trial and error. So playing with the quantities. Our family and friends are our biggest supporters.
You were our guinea pigs, by the way,
guinea pigs.
Even though you may not have known it.
Yes. So trying the taste, did it need a bit more of this? Did it need a bit more of that? And so that's how we created that one pot seasoning, and we got it to where it is today. So that one pot is enough to season 2 kilos of meat, chicken, fish, vegetarian options, whatever it is that you have. And it has everything in it. So that's our signature, I would say.
Yeah.
One pot seasoning. We have also created a 120 grams, the bigger packet there, which is, you would say, a catering pack. So those who want a bit more, or those who are familiar now with using the one pot, and they don't really have to have a measured quantity. So they would just, thank you, Tanya. That's for those who actually know how to create. So you will have that in your kitchen cupboard after a while, because you will know the quantity, how much you need. And we are also in the process, we'll have actually got some samples today for you at the end of a salt-free version, which some people have been asking for.
Yeah.
And we listened to the feedback, and we listened to what it is that people wanted, and we decided to create something. So that'll be a little takeaway at the end, and you can let us know how it is, how you find it, especially those who are health conscious, who don't have much salt, who are diabetic, and just to say that the product is actually gluten-free as well.
Yeah.
And we found that at the market, that a lot of people were reading the labels and they wanted something that was gluten-free,
With no additives.
No additives, no preservatives, and it's gluten-free. And, doing our research as well, we found that in the market, when we were doing our market research, and I think it's funny because I do it as well. I go in the supermarket, and if you know what you want, it's fine. But the things that you're not familiar with, I would find that I'd pick them up and look at the pack, read the ingredients at the back. And one thing I can say about the J&J, there's no E numbers. So when we say absolutely pure, it really is absolutely pure. So that's our unique selling point.
Yes. So the product itself has a shelf life of roughly 1.5 years. It can do, okay? The ingredients within it that reduces the shelf life, because we have to go by the best by date on the product that's got the earliest shelf life, is the cornmeal, okay? But the cornmeal is gluten-free, and we feel that we need to put it in there. It reduces the clumping together as well. That's a natural way of reducing that. So you will not throw that away because it's hard in the packet. You'll use all of it, okay? Another good thing is that once you start using J&J, you will not go back.
You'll be hooked.
Okay? You will not go back. And all of the people who we've tested it on, of all nationalities, by the way, are very they comment the product. It's exactly what they want, and they're asking for more, okay? So keep supporting J&J, pass the word around so that others will as well. And we want to just thank you once again for being here today to support us, okay?
I'd just like to add as well that it was being sold at the Luton market as well. I think it was selling it at the Luton market. We had some very good feedback and some good returning customers as well. So yeah, that's just to add that as well.
There was, just adding to that, There's one customer who lives in Norwich. Is it Norwich, Anita? Norfolk. So that person must have been visiting, or they've got relatives here in Luton. They bought some packs of the large packs, took them to Norfolk, and contacted us again and said, can we have some more? Because we have nothing like this in Norfolk. So the potential is there for us to expand to other areas. There are people around who, it's not just people of Caribbean origin, they're people who just want flavours in their foods. And this is what this provides.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. How you doing? Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing? It's good to be here, isn't it? It's good to be here. Now, I have a co-presenter. We do a show for Luton Urban Radio, and she's somehow behind. Oh, you have a little drink, my love. You have a little drink. Okay, just after the drink, I'll bring you over, KC. First of all, I want to say it's good to be here. And it's wonderful to see everybody, young men, young ladies, young people together. It's a wonderful occasion where we hope and we look forward for things to grow as we continue in our social media, sharing this particular moment with our friends. So I just want to come and talk about the idea of a community. We are part of Luton Urban Radio, which has been going on since 1995. But of course, along that process, many of us moved on to go and work for BBC Three Counties. And we forgot what we had started. So we went to work for Three Counties and we did various shows. But what we have is we have something powerful in our community. That is, we can engage in conversation. Things that our forefathers, whether you came from the Caribbean or from the Africans, like my parents did. Community, what we call cohesion, getting together. We was talking about the pardon thing that our parents were as well astute and doing very, very well. I said to Ian, I remember my mom and dad, who came from South Africa, settled here in the early 70s. They got involved, and I got a bike, a chopper bike. Because families used to get together, put the money together and build up as a community. What we have here today is very, very important, that we should carry this for the young people, for the next generation. Whatever business we're in, empower it. Work together, support one another. That's very, very important. Because whether you're from the Caribbean or from Africa, we are a unit, we're a community. The ideas back in the days when people say it's small family or small island or you're from Africa, those ideas are old. We have to come together and embrace, support one another. I just say that mainly because when we left LUR, Luton Urban Radio, we went to BBC Three Counties with different showcases. There was a support, but what lacked was the kind of programs we were delivering for our people. Many of us just played music and we thought that's it. But there are certain things we can talk about in our community, a discussion, anything, even talk about a cat, talk about plants, because the white community can talk about that. But our people used to say, play music, play this, and we forgot historical things that can make a show or a program worth listening to. As time went on, after 6 or 7 years, we came back to LUR. Luton Urban Radio began in 1995. Trainer was our early ambassador who started it, and Steve Knight. And they built a platform of saying, it's not just a radio. We've got to have certain programs, music, culturally, and talk about our community as a whole. Now, can you do a 2-hour show talking about community? Some of us found it difficult. So we had to engage with certain programs or certain topics. People wanted to talk about black and black killing because that's what's going on. Nobody wanted to talk about business, how we can inspire young people or be mentors for those in the future. So what we're doing at Luton Urban Radio is making sure we look at the programs we're producing. If it's a music content, we need to bring good content for the listeners. If it's a discussion, it's got to be a good program of discussion, family oriented. So on a Saturday, myself and KC, sitting at the back there, we present a program of where we invite people, whatever business you're in. Let's talk about your business. Let's encourage that business. Let's talk about young people, what's happening. I'm sure some of you remember we grew up where there was lots of weddings or marriages, and you look forward to social gatherings. What's happening? Young people don't want to get married now. What's going on? Let's have conversation. Let's build our culture. Let's build what we have here, businesses. Encourage and support. So radio is a good form of communication. If your presentation is good, you're going to get listeners. But there's hard work. There's so much competition. So what we're saying is we want to support businesses or these particular events. If you have a business you want to talk about, to promote, it's not the money side of it, it's how do we go about it to make sure that people can support one another. So what we're looking to do, we've been awarded a DAB, finally. So on the 30th of November, we will now be having a launch party where Luton Urban Radio will be regarded as on a DAB status. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. We had, thank you. We had what we call in the early days like pirate station or pirate radio, but all the big stations came from pirate. Capital Radio did, Radio 1. We've got good DJs, good presenters, but we now want to be a voice. And this can only work with events like these, where we can come and network, support one another, promote one another. I know things are expensive in terms of advertising, but social media is a great thing. So what we're saying is when we have an event of this magnitude, right, it's for me, it's a very powerful thing in our community. The presentation, everything that's been done to have this is beautiful. So we need to, empower our community. Come in, let's work. How do we do it? What is it about J&J Seasoning? Yeah, I must say, when we had the guest on our show, Jack and June, I was very fascinated there. And Casey and I, we took the samples. I went home, and of course, from my family background, which is South African family, seasoning is not the greatest thing in our food because we like red meat. Not myself personally, but that's how I was brought up. But we put a little seasoning in the family, and I thought, boy, it tastes really different and nice, authentic. So we like that. So to promote these kind of events or business is beautiful. It could be in media, you could be IT, whatever it is. The ethos is, as a people, let's come together and support one another. We can only grow. But the problem is, if you can see today, we're here in numbers. It's a start, it's a beginning. From us as a radio, is we want to get involved to support, come for the interviews whenever you can. Let's build something that the young people can follow either in media, journalism, or in business and see how things are working. It's all about word of mouth. So I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the opportunity to come and meet different people of business kind. And let's hope when we leave here today, we can grow and support. I find sometimes as a people that we are scattered. We have different entities, but all meaning the same thing. So if we can reach out under one umbrella or one roof, we can grow. You may feel disheartened, maybe it wasn't what you were expecting in your preparation, but we're here in numbers. We're here as a people. And I think the whole idea is to support one another. So share those events, share those things. Let's work together. Let's build and make sure, as you said before, it's not for us as black people. It's for every culture to come and enjoy the spices, enjoy the seasoning that we have. So I'm not too sure, Casey, will maybe want to pop in and say something. Casey is also part of Gold Star Radio. She does an incredible show on a Thursday evening. Her and their lovely daughter, Paige, sitting over there. Again, young people coming into the radio, taking an interest. I was part many years ago, I did a bit of a stint with Capital Radio. And in those days, there weren't a lot of black people there. But you always yearn to see, it's nothing to do with black or white. It's for us to grow. So here we are, Luton Urban Radio now is going to be, as I say, DAB. So we have a launch party on the 21st of June, which is Father's Day. So we're looking for that. But the 30th of May, we'd like to invite anybody to come down. It's going to be at Marsh Farm from 8 until 2, where everybody's invited just to feel the fact of, remember FM stereo? Everybody was driving motors. If you had an AM, it wasn't good listening, but if you had an FM frequency, it was a better listen. So DAB is more or less the same. So you'll be able to hear us wherever you are. And what we're saying is it's a platform for young people who want to get into media, radio, journalism, let's do that. But to conclude, it's a beautiful thing seeing everyone today. You've made an effort. Let's continue to build, and we look forward to greater opportunities as we grow together. All right? Thank you very much for listening, and wonderful indeed. Thank you.
Right, my name is Ian Watt. In my lifetime, I was once a banker, worked for Credit Lyonnais in the banking industry, and then I moved on to be a bankruptcy lawyer for KPMG, and then I moved on to be head of the debt management department for the NHS. I know I've only got 1 minute, so I'm going to say the following. This is the God honest truth. One day my wife came home from work and I had to cook. So I cooked her a nice meal. And she said to me, "Did you get this from a restaurant?" I said, "No, it was J&J Seasoning." That's the God honest truth. And it's the first time in 30 years being married to my wife, she appreciated my cooking. So I would like to say thank you to J&J. Now, going to what Lenny was saying is that the Chinese have a proverb that says, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step." And I'd like to congratulate Jackie and June for taking this one step. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And I am extremely confident they're going to go places. I used to go to Harlesden, one shop restaurant, and when I look at the restaurant board, I see one fish for £15. I said, what? So having J&J Seasoning now, I'll go out and buy my cheap fish and season it, and I feel as if I'm in the West Indies. So not only does it add value in terms of the flavor and the health, it does save a lot of money. I'm not going to pay £15 for one fish when I can get 3 or 4 fish and cook. So J&J Seasoning has brilliant added value, not only in terms of health, taste and quality, but I think it's excellent that they're broadening their horizons, not only for the West Indian community, but also for the wider community. So I'll just end by saying congratulations to Jake and June on J&J, and I have every confidence when they go online, it's going to explode. So let's give it up to J&J Seasoning.
My name is Ria Marshall. I work for the Lloyds Banking Group as part of the Scottish Widows brand. I think all of us, or hopefully most of us, may have heard a number of the different high street brands, like your Abercrombie, Span & Scotland, you may be having within the group. So why am I here talking about banking, I should say? So there are a couple of things, so I'll touch on a few. For me, can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little bit better. Okay, let me check. So my day-to-day at the moment, I focus within the world of pensions, investments. Let's break it down to high street. We're talking about savings. And I think each one of us in this room, you need to understand how important that is today. And when I talk about pensions, there's also a gap between male and female. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, one, to raise awareness not only for this particular demographic, but also from a gender perspective. Women are naturally lower in the pensions gap. So if you're thinking of future and you're thinking of savings, it doesn't matter your age, and I'm looking at the young people here, the earlier you start to think about your financial future, the better for you. The earlier we think about it as a community, the better for us. So if you have any questions, feel free, you can ask me later. Secondly, my day-to-day job, I work in the world of tech. And what that means is I work with a number of software engineers. And I was speaking to the lovely Fed earlier, and he was saying to me, hi, you were doing computer science. And I asked him, do you enjoy what you're doing? And he said, no, I do not. And I was thinking, why not? He's saying he's learning a lot in terms of coding. And the reason why I'm sharing that as well is because there are skills we need in the future that the jobs we have today will not exist in the next 5 years. So when you're coming out of university, you're looking at careers, thinking of, will I be relevant in the next 5 years? You really need to think about that. And that's why I like what you are doing here with your business. You are thinking wider, you're thinking broader. There are things here, especially from a cultural perspective, seasonings. You might think it's really simple, but it's not. It's unique to us. It is unique to you. It is unique to doing something different for society, for the community, so that people will understand this is our culture and this is how we would like to share that with you. So I would say, for me on a day-to-day basis, even though banking, people might think as bankers we're stiff, we're not. I would say we're not. And I'm learning every day, especially as I work within the engineering space. As a psychologist for myself, behavioral shifts from a human perspective is my last point. This is something as a community we need to think about. Don't procrastinate. Think about what's your unique selling point. That's a term I guess my marketers in the room might actually appreciate. What is your unique selling point? What is special about your seasoning? And own that, sell that, and let them feel that. As part of Lloyd's Banking Group, we also sponsor Black in Business. And we spoke about this briefly. So this is something that is a great opportunity for us as a community, but not limited to only the Black community, just community in general. Ethnic minorities, there are something different that we bring to the UK in general. So I would really love for us to continue to explore that option, try to get you on that panel as well, so that we can see how best to take that forward for you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I was about to say thank you for coming. It's not my do. Very impressed. Aesthetically, everything looks so amazing, and commendably, I commend both of you on the journey. For us, we're from Ramsey's Wings and Things, and we're just down the road in the centre of Luton on 17A Manchester Street. We do Caribbean food, we do catering, we do wings, strips, that kind of thing. Definitely going to take your card though. That'd be good, just in case troubles are ahead. We never know. You never know. But yeah, I just wanted to say I'm definitely interested in exploring it, even if it's just to support as an individual. I will talk to you off the books and see what you do for like businesses, or if that's something that you can explore. But definitely, if it tastes nice, we're interested in exploring and supporting the community. So thanks very much for your time.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm the brother of J&J. J. It's good to be here. I just want to congratulate them, first of all, on this business that they're launching. To be honest, I didn't even know half of what was going on. It was happening. But it's a very good thing, and there's a lot of potential. So everybody continue to support it. This is really great. This is what we need. It's obviously a family of businesses and small businesses. My day job is a technician, a very good technician. But on the side, we do window blinds as well. So all your homes, all your businesses, friends and family, just spread the words. Myself, Dwayne, and Jackie was getting this business for 20 years or so. Yeah, it's not on a big scale, but it's usually mostly just word of mouth. We go our own homes, we do family and friends. So if this is a place to boost things, we'll see what it can do, you know, spread the word. And we deliver, make and measure, but we don't make, but we measure and order quality 8 window blinds and fit. Okay, so spread the word for us.
Where's my blind, man?
It was a shout.
Right, listen, what a blind, man.
You've seen it around, so yeah. We'll come to yours next.
You know what I mean?
Wayne, you want to say it? Thank you, everybody.
We're about to a hub now, but you know, in my mind, that pot doesn't have to be a financial pot. It could be a skills pot, an ideas pot. It could be careers presented to us that within Lloyds Bank they are looking at ways to support black businesses. She is a part of that network that can help us, you know. Lenny, you have radio. We could not allowing us to jump into back pots, so that should be promoted, you know, around. And all of you here, you have got some skills. And my sister here, you've got your marketing, social networking, all of that. We need to know that we have people around us to, if we cannot do something, I need to be able to look into my pot that I'm a part of and think, oh, Richard has a delivery service, so I can go to him for business, okay? He's not going to kill me with a charge or some extortion that I would be able to pay. He's not. He's not going to kill me.
Like you don't get your rates.
You're saying bill of poverty.
Parity.
Parity.
Parity that we could all jump in and say, Ian, I need this. Even if we have to do it for free, I would expect that, okay, because they're all in this were bright lines, and we are able to benefit again today. Okay, build our community, skills base, and so we can start today.
Yeah.
Let us see all of us here, even our young people, okay, to be a part of that skills base that we can nurture and then we can also dig into as and when we did, right? So I want us to make a commitment today, and you're all going to be invited to the next J&J networking event, which will be in October, okay?
Obsessed food.
You've had the food. Yeah, so look out for other invites, okay? We're going to be dropping you emails and whatever. We want you to book early because this is our first event. And it's not bad actually. We were not expecting this to be people. And we only, June will tell, come June. You'll realise. How long have we been promoting this?
Just days. Is it about a month? Or maybe just close us? Maybe 6 weeks max. So, I mean, at the time, I knew that wasn't enough time. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to go out, step out in faith. Yeah. And as Jackie said, it's the first one. So, you know, and I'm quite happy. I'm quite proud of the amount of people that have turned out to support. You know, I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. You know.
Thank you. Have your tea.
Thank you.